What I'd do if I had to start over in wholesaling real estate. Guys, it's Rick Ginn. In this video, I'm gonna go through the 4 critical phases. You had to start wholesaling now, or I had to start all over. I'm gonna go through them in detail. I'll show you the exact list I'm gonna use. I'm gonna show you how I would start my marketing if I started over right away. Because this video, it really excites me, because starting over, you should understand exactly what I would do, and that's what I'm gonna share with you today. So before I get into it, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, you hit that subscribe button to continue to receive the best information on wholesaling today. So I get this question all the time, Rick, if you had to start all over, everything got taken away from you, how would you attack wholesaling real estate? And I'm here to tell you guys, I'm gonna attack it the exact way I currently do my business and the exact way I teach you how to do it. And if you wanna learn more how to do it, go over to freewholesaling.com. But once you understand the fundamentals of wholesaling, occasionally you have to just reset to understand what it is you're doing. And once you're clear on what wholesaling is, it's actually easy and you can take it in bite-sized steps along the way. So let's pretend I just lost everything. I'm back to square one and I'm talking to you how I'm going to jumpstart this business. So one of the key distinctions is I know I've got to go out and find great deals. Now, I'm probably not going to find great deals on public type properties. So step number 1, you got to make sure they're off-market properties. Why? Because that's where the best deals are. The reality is most properties go to a realtor or a broker. Why? Because they want tippy top dollar. And if you want a deep discount, they want a tippy top dollar. It seems the reason that you're going to be wasting time chasing down brokers and realtors. Let's face it, they're there to make top dollar. And how do they make top dollar? They sell it for top price to get top commission. That's why wholesaling and real estate agents in the get-go, they just don't blend. And for the longest time, I always thought it was realtors that hate us. To be honest with you, us wholesalers, we invite these problems when we're brand new and we go on MLS and we sit there and try to deceive and lie to them. Guys, listen, the best wholesaling deals will always be off-market properties. That's the first place I'm going to attack. The next rule that you have to understand when it comes to wholesaling is you have to go direct to the seller. Not in any of my videos do I train you to go out and seek realtors to go find these clients for you. The reality is 95% of realtors deal with retail sellers, and I'm fine with that. I don't want to deal with them. And if you need to understand the key distinction is we're looking for people that need to sell a house versus people want to sell a house. People want to sell a house. They spend all day with realtors and brokers. People need to sell a house, talk to cash buyers just like you and me, AKA wholesalers, because we can get the job done. You have to go direct to seller. So now we know it has to be off market and we need to market directly to our sellers to get the best wholesale deals. The third thing you have to understand in the rules of wholesaling, especially if you start today and if I'm starting over, is I have to gauge each and every one of my sellers' motivation. And I'm going to have to rate it if I'm going to move forward or I'm just going to do a follow-up or I'm just going to let go of it. Now, if you focus on the people that need to sell versus the people want to sell, this will pretty much answer your own question. But what you do is go through a qualifying process using the methods we teach at freewholesaling.com, MCTP. If you don't know what that is, go over to freewholesaling.com. We teach it in depth, but this will help you truly gauge the motivation of your seller and only work with people that need to sell their house. So now that we got the core foundation is everything I teach and my son teaches is based on having great conversations with sellers. We are not going to steamroll. We are not going to be a one chump offer system like, what do you need? How much do you want to sell this property for? Listen, there's plenty of order takers. They're called realtors. You have to build amazing rapport. And if you can do that, amazing things will happen in your wholesaling business. So now that you understand the 4 fundamentals of wholesaling, if I'm going to start over, I'm going to focus on all 4 of those things. So how do I find deals just like that? Well, you're not going to go to a realtor, you're not going to go to a broker, you're not going to go on MLS, and honestly, you are going to have to go get the most motivated list. So we teach you at freewholesaling.com, the best lists for motivation are going to be your government list. And what I'd like to do is run through my absolute favorites right now. First of all, everybody knows how I feel about probates. They have high incentives for motivation. A lot of people want to get rid of these properties and they want to minimize the hassle, the uncertainty of it. And because these properties are typically vacant and they need lots of work and you have the flexibility of time, these are some of the best deals a starter wholesaler can attack. So if I'm starting over, I'm going after probates. Number 1, there's usually higher motivation. And number 2, the profit level is 3 times what you would do on a normal assignment of contract. So if I'm trying to generate cash quick, probates is the first list I'm going to start with. So after probates, I would go with code violations. I love this list. It's basically anybody who is out of violation in their house. Maybe the grass is tall, maybe they got boarded up windows, maybe there's a tarp over the roof. These obviously are going to have signs of motivation, and when there's signs, you have opportunity. When there's opportunity, that's where wholesalers really dig in on the marketing. The third list I love to attack at the courthouse are the evictions lists, and these are just landlords that are evicting tenants because they either didn't pay, they wouldn't leave when their lease was up, or they trashed the property. Timing is everything, and if you hit some of these landlords at the perfect time by getting these fresh leads, a lot of times if they want to solve a problem, it's in between tenants. That's why I love this list. And then I can go on the water shutoff list, the fire damage properties, the arrest records, and obviously the tax delinquency. All these lists work. Why? Because you find people that need to sell their house versus people who want to sell the house. And once you can contact direct to seller, you cut out all the games you're going to get on the MLS or working with a realtor. It's not that I'm opposed to working with a realtor, but as a new wholesaler, calling realtors that have no idea what you do, and quite frankly, you're still learning the business, is a recipe for disaster. I'd rather you wait, get some deals under your belt, and then I can teach you how to train your realtors to go out and find off-market properties for you and pay them their full commissions. So now that we know the exact list to target, what's the best way to attack these lists? Now, first and foremost, one of my favorite lists that you can do together, it's a list and it's a visual thing. It's called Driving for Dollars. And the reason why these are so valuable, number one, you're identifying a property in your market that has issues. And so you've already pre-qualified the lead. And honestly, if I had a list of 10,000 people that are suspect, maybe they're high equity, maybe it's a tax delinquency list, and then you have a list of 500 people, but all these properties are suspect, your list is 10 times more effective than the bigger list. Why? Because there is a high probability that someone needs to strike a deal in those houses. Going through 10,000 takes a lot of manpower to get through it. So a Driving for Dollars list is one of the best lists that you can create, and quite often it is overlooked. Driving for Dollars works really well. Now, as far as the code violations list, the eviction, the tax delinquencies, one of my favorite techniques to go out there is taking Driving for Dollars and just add sticky notes on them. So I get a list of 100 addresses, maybe it's tax delinquencies, and I put a note on their door. Hey, got a quick question about your house. It's Rick. I put on my virtual phone number. If I put out 100, 20 call me. That's 20 opportunities. I saved 80 painful conversations, and honestly, it has a very high engagement rate. Now, it is time consuming, but it is extremely effective. Remember, if I'm starting over today, I'm going out and attacking Driving for Dollars, and while I'm doing it, I'm going to go after reverse Driving for Dollars on those government lists. So the next thing I'm going to do, especially if I'm new, is I need to increase my exposure time. So obviously I need a huge quantity between all my government lists, my Driving for Dollars, reverse Driving for Dollars. But most importantly, I want to talk and get as much intel as humanly possible. Now, social media is wonderful with that, but nothing's ever going to replace the human interaction. If you can find your local RIA, which is short for Real Estate Investors Association, you'll find a lot of people in your similar situation, and it's a great place to find cash buyers, get great contacts, and network. All the networking happens right before the meeting and after. Don't buy the crap in between the middle of the meeting because they're just selling stuff. So if you want to go out and make connections that potentially last the rest of your life, I love going out to RIAs, but also go on your social media groups and look for investor groups in your area and share contacts and help each other out. So now that we know where to start, we know the list to find, and we know the methods we're going to attack, I want you to understand I'm starting all over on wholesaling, and I'm only going to focus on wholesaling. I'm not going to be a fix and flipper. I'm not going to focus on being a landlord. I want to get the best deals, and what I want to do is put them under contract, and I want to sign them quickly for cash because I got to build up my bank account because I'm using my hustle muscle first. And then once I prove the viability of wholesaling, which I have for 21 years, once I put some safe cash in the bank, I can now reinvest in my business, start to use some paid strategies, some direct mail, some physical bandit signs, and then I just keep adding it and do is increase my scalability. And in the beginning, I understand I'm going to use guerrilla marketing tactics like digital bandit signs. I'm going to use roadside bandit signs, only 10 to 15. My competitors use 200. I just put them in smarter, more strategic places. Remember, the more effective you can be with less money will make you a much more valuable wholesaler. And honestly, if I had to start over, I would attack the guerrilla marketing first. I'd get 4 or 5 deals under my belt. And once I did that, I would start adding paid leads. But guys, once you learn wholesaling, it is a skill set that will save you for the rest of your life, because even if you have to start over, you can always generate cash with wholesaling. That's why it is such an amazing and the highest skill set you can learn in real estate investing. So guys, let me know in the comments which methods you're using if you had to start all over. And as usual, if you got value from this, make sure you smash that like button, you hit that subscribe notification bell. button to continue to receive the best videos on wholesaling today. So guys, this is Rick Ginn, and I'll see you in the next video.